Both Apple and Google have policies that ban apps in its stores from containing hate or discriminatory speech, bullying, harassment, and sexually explicit content. In the aftermath of the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol, Apple and Google kicked Parler off their app stores for its role in helping rioters plan the event. Although it was allowed back after making changes, Kanye West, who legally changed his name to Ye, is reportedly in talks to buy Parler. Yeah, I totally forgot about that story. So I guess they could just find a way to house Twitter under one of those policies, although they haven't done so in the past. And explicit content is a thing that has been allowed, for example, on Twitter for prior to Elon Musk, which is, so I'm not sure. I guess they could just apply the policy differently at this point, or maybe they could find content that's some sort of fresh content that breaks certain rules, App Store rules or whatever. It's just we never saw something on that scale. Like you have Parler, sure, which is on one end of the spectrum. Twitter's a whole different ball game. Facebook, different ball game. Instagram, different ball game. YouTube, and so forth. They can do what they want with their app stores, but at some point also consumers might get upset and say, I really want that app. I'm going to go to some other platform that lets me get it.
And Twitter might just be the one.
Twitter might be one. YouTube might be one. I mean, you go down the list
Those are powerhouses
of apps that matter to you and how much you would care if you couldn't get it on the platform that you're using. Now, the other flip side of this is, okay, Elon says, hey, I might just have to make a phone. And I'm not saying that this is going to happen, by the way, but how about Tim sitting there saying, well, I might just have to make a social network?
What would it be called?
Which one is harder to build?
Apple Social?
The phone, the ecosystem, the app store, from a guy who owns companies that are currently selling shipping hardware in the form of a pretty smart electric car, because I've been driving around with the full self-driving. Wow. I'm pretty impressed so far.
Really?
I'm pretty impressed so far. And me and the kids, we can't stop marveling at the complexity of the thing working even like a quarter of what it's currently capable of. Now, granted, like it's a very small sample. And of course, I've seen clips of malfunctions and things like that. So my nerves are not completely smooth yet.
So are you looking at the dash?
I'm looking at the dash, man.
Looking at the real life windshield.
It's a combination. It's the dash and then up and then the dash and then up. The dash sees so wide now. It's amazing, man. It's picking up and gathering probably more information than your eyes because it's looking in all directions. And your eyes are stuck on the front of your face.
Yeah.
And currently my eyes are swelled up because I got this busted nose in the middle. So they're no good.
If anyone wants to check out the bloody photo.
If you want to see shortly after the injury.
Later.
I will say, so I had blood on the outside, but I had also a lot of blood from the inside. So to my doctors in the audience, you tell me what that means, but I can barely breathe through this baby right here. A lot of coagulated blood and all types of other materials coming out of there, and a lot of swelling and probably a busted nose. So anyway, point being here is we have two powerhouses in the technology space that appear to be going toe-to-toe. It's not the first time that Apple has found itself being criticized by another tech company. We have the Epic Games scenario. They were angry about the 30%. They went to court over it. Tim Sweeney. But not on the, the scale of Elon is bananas right now. And if Apple's in the crosshairs or he's tagging Tim Cook. Obviously, Tim Cook's not going to respond. Phil Schiller shut down his Twitter account. And I just think these companies are not very aligned and friendly with each other. And I'm calling Elon a company, but I mean his variety of companies. So I can't imagine them rectifying this in an easy or friendly kind of way. I just don't picture it, but it would be a massive step to eliminate it from the App Store. And of course, this brings into question all types of things going on with China. And then if you've got Elon on your case and all the Twitter sleuths and a bunch of people with a lot of time on their hands, then they're going to go look at Apple in another light, and they're going to examine things that Apple is doing that they may not appreciate if they happen to be on Team Elon. This is how humans seem to operate, Will. They go from one camp and they defend such camp, and then they go and they attack and they go on the offensive. And Twitter in the last, like, never mind Twitter, just news, like global stuff going on.
So much is happening.
Exactly. And it seems to me the intensity with which people are participating in it. I'm not talking about reading it and then moving on. I'm talking about participating in it where they're becoming part of the investigation, like the Balenciaga story. Like, holy cow, man. Everybody's a detective now. Everybody. Mm-hmm. And 275,000 tweets. You thought it was going to cool off. Then Kim went and talked about it. And then, so anyway,